How you going, guys? We've got a single cab Honda buggy, 1000cc. We're going to run a full Wgia kit through it. I'm going to show you step by step. So the first step, guys, we mounted our midi fuse with our midi fuse mount. We just used double-sided tape. Mounted on the, you're sitting in the cab on the left-hand side under the bonnet. 40 amp fuse. Going back to the battery. And we've got our wiring harness simply going through, coming out. And here on the left-hand side, we're going to follow the pipe up. There, I'll get the power and earth to the system. So we've set our bracing plates up on the roof. We've got a couple of holes drilled in. I'll give you a measurement. That's our roof, internal roof brace. And we've also got another internal roof brace system we got to anchor the roof to the roll bars to get the support we need to get this system fully functional. I'll give you a good look and a measurement of where our 250mm square bracing plate is mounted. So I've just got a clamp on the centre of the roof, dead in the middle, crossways, so you can get a measurement on this vehicle. So it's 365mm to the start of the bracing plate. If you want the centre of the hole for your handle, add another 125mm onto it. So 365, 465, 485, 490mm to the centre of the handle. So guys, the first thing we do is we get our square plate straight, and then I drilled two 8.5mm holes through the roof, put the bolts through, got it square, and then I use this bracing plate as a guide to drill my holes for my handle. So then I did my hole saw hole, and I use this bracing plate as a guide for my 4 or 5mm bolt holes around the side, and that's how everything goes. The handle goes together really well because all the holes are so precise. And we got you've got two holes in the roof so far, guys, and the handle through. Next, we're going to put this fella in the roof, and then we've also got we've got custom Wgia internal roof brace system that mounts from the roll bars to tie all this in so there's no movement. So you got the ultimate performance running a spotlight and a thermal. And the next step is I've got the internal plate in. Make sure I get the letters the right way. Kangaroo at the back, letters at the front. Livy's already got the POWA BEAM part with the threads in it. We're going to clamp the two front bolts down the POWA BEAM handle now. Just give us a look at that part, Liv. Yep, so Liv's going to slide that up over there when she can reach. She's going to jump on the seat. And I've got silicon, just roof and gutter silicon under this plate, bracing plate. I've got all the holes drilled. We've got these two done up. So now we've got those 4 holes in. I'm going to do those 2 bolts up next. So we're going to put the hole for the cable gland now on the top bracing plate. We have a pilot hole for the cable gland, depending what size cable gland you're running, which comes down to how many wires or whatever system you're running. We'll supply a cable gland to suit. So this here one's a 16mm. You just want to make sure you get it the right size. You don't want to go too big because there's not much area to seal it. And we'll put some roof and gutter silicone around it, and we also test it to make sure it's weatherproof. So we just use that hole as our pilot hole. Got a 16mm hole saw. And you can see on the inside we've got the plate notched out for where the cable gland can go through. Just otherwise there's not enough thread in most cable glands to go through the whole lot. So that's why that's designed like that. Righto. Give a quick look at the hole. Cable gland goes in there, put some silicone in there. See on the inside cap. We've got our Deutsch plug upgrade kit on the 250mm square plate system. Get the cable gland in. I'll put a bit of silicone around there as I tighten it up. I'll clean it back with vapor spray. Good gear. And Livy's going to hold the socket on the nut on the inside, got the wires running through it. And I'll tighten the top up with the shifter. Like so. this out of the road, so I've got this big shifter on there. Or you can probably leave the shifter sit up on top if you like. If you're by yourself, you could leave it sit up on top and then just spin the socket by hand. We'll get it tight enough. How's it going, Liv? Is it spinning? There we go, that's nice and tight. And then what I do is, I make sure the wires are nice and even on this part. And this part sits on here. So, push the wires through enough. So they're nice, even. Excuse my daughter. And we make sure the plate's going to sit straight. Leave enough wire hanging out. And then we tighten this up, guys. Nice and firm. Shifter. Yeah, you're right, Liv. You're right. You're in. Popping up. You can see that O-ring clamping around the wires. This makes everything waterproof. We don't run the wires through the handle. And then we do it out of precaution. We get some clear nail polish and we dab around and then we test it with vapor spray to make sure water can't run down the wires. Loki's checking in with Olivia to make sure that they got everything under control to go shooting for the night.
So it's water by the sounds.
What do you reckon, Liv? Good. I just got some nail polish. I just dab it in around here, let it fill up. Make sure it goes in between the two wires because of the shape of them. And then I'll leave it sit there and dry before I bend the wires around. There you go, you can see it filling up there. Running down, sealing up. Lovely. Alright, kids are having a bit of a play. I'll just put some vapor spray. Check it out, guys, on Instagram. We use it to clean our windows, clean up silicone. It's really, really good stuff. Designed by some plumbers in Australia. So, I love using Australian-made products. Give it a clean up like so. Righto, so the nail polish is dried. Tested the wires, water's not getting through. I just put a little dab of silicone around those two holes. This plate sits on top like so. Then we get 2 bolts, 35mm long, with 2 flat washers to go in. Finish that part off. I've got one hand here, so it's a bit tricky. Just get the plate facing nice and straight and uniform. The Deutsch plug bracing plate's designed so the wires never break when the light rotates and you can disconnect it quickly. So the next step is we've got our Wgia internal roof brace system. So it just clamps between the pipe at the back and the pipe across the front. It's fully adjustable. So we just get everything lined up and centered. And then we mark our holes. We put nutserts into the pipe and do it all up. So pulled the jig down and put the drill up there and marked where all the holes are to go. Pulled it down, drilled my holes, got to put my nutserts in and then bolt the cross member bracing. Give you a quick look at the nutserts. So them 5 bolts now and bolt the cross member bracing. So we've got the cross member bracing system bolted in. Moving forward, when we go into production with these guys, we'll have this narrower, so we'll pick up the bolt holes down the side. We'll just have 2 bolts, 4 bolts to bolt to the pipe. And with the same system, fit the same. So we'll get it all fitted out now. That'll really tie the whole system into the frame of the roof so there's no vibration. And these Honda roofs are bad for filling up with water too on the roof. It's a big hollow there, so we'll make sure that the roof's pushed up so that doesn't happen. So the next step is you get your console, just get a hacksaw blade, knock out the little notches so that tab can fold out. Get everything ready to go. You need 4 M5 nuts, bolt into your power beam handle. If you've got a blazer handle, you have to put the bolts through from the inside and go up, put all the handle and that all together in one. But in this setup, it's just a power beam handle, so simply just push it on and do the nuts up. So we've got our main power and earth wire going from our battery, vehicle battery. The positive just goes onto the isolator switch. All the earths go onto that bolt. So all your earth wires from the going up to the spotlight and the converter, earths for the whole system all go into that stainless steel bolt. Your spotlight positive wire simply plugs on to the relay on the spare prong, number 87 I'm pretty sure. And your DC converter just plugs in here. And simply just get all your wires tucked in, guys, and sit them up like so. Put all the wires tucked up inside the console. I can't do it one-handed. And the 4 bolts hold the system into place. I'll fit her out and get it on there. Okay, so the next step, I've got the console bolted in. Got it wired up. Wires all nice and tidy. Going back to the battery. And once you've run your wires, then come to length and hook on your pair onto your midi fuse and your earth onto the battery. Then we can put the handle in next. And then we can put the spotlight on the roof. Go from there. Got the battery hooked up. All the earth and the pair on. Clipped to the midi fuse. Ready to put the spotlight handle in. So it's all fitted. It'll come with the switch on it and the plug. We can test the console in the roof. And power. The switch is for your spotlight. And as soon as you turn that on, it runs the converter in the thermal bracket. So when you're not operating the system, guys, and if you got your light off the roof, it won't matter. It won't be activating the converter. But if your light is on and it's plugged in, it will be activating the converter. And then there's the interior light. A spare switch if you want to run any other devices on it. All the fuses for the system are at the back. And on the other side, there is some USB ports. Ready to rock and roll. So when you get the kit, when we custom do it, we'll have all this fitted. We'll have the handle lubricated. So simply put him through the roof, through your handle, like so. And screw him up and then put your rubber boot on top. So we've got our handle in. We don't lock that up personally. We just leave that backed off the same as that nut. Operate it the same as it doesn't move. And it's a good, nice, smooth system, very balanced, designed to operate a thermal spotlight system solo. And this simply activates the switch on your handle. So if you want to take your handle off when you've got a few people in the car, you just loosen them off. They're spring loaded as well, so you can face them the right way so they don't foul up on the housing of the handle. And you've got a switch here to turn your light on and off, or you've got a switch on the handle to turn your light on and off. Rightio. So the next step is we slide our rubber boot on the power beam handle and we bolt our quick release mount system on. Easiest way is to have someone up on top with a spanner, 17mm spanner, and then someone on the inside of the cab with a 17mm spanner. You put it in the top bolt so then you can't accidentally twist anything. You just basically hold that straight at the front, line up your quick release mount parallel with the front of the bracing plate, and away you go. So we have our lightforce 240mm blitz HID system ready to go. Got the Wgia condor mount on the top. I'm just waiting for the customer Cameron to come with his thermal. We'll bolt it into here and clip it on. It's all wired up, ready to go. Rightio, so when you go to put your system on, you'll have your thermal on top, plugged in. You can leave that plugged in all the time if you wish. Simply clip him on like so. Slide him forward. Make sure your wing bolts are facing upwards. They're spring loaded like so. There you go. And this is designed so the wires never break. Clip your wires in, plug her in. Once you turn the isolation switch on in the cab, it'll activate your converter all the time, which powers your thermal, and then you have the option of turning your light on and off whenever you wish. As you can see, it's designed to work flawlessly. And there you go, guys. That's a complete Wgia system fitted to a Honda buggy. And the roof is solid as a rock, which is a really big achievement, especially on this type of vehicle. The roofs sag really bad and fills up with water. So it fixes all those issues as well. Very good. Another happy customer. There you go, guys. Big Honda. She's fully set up. The lightforce 240mm blitz HID system. All the roof bracing. Our new interior roof brace design to make the roof completely solid and finished. Our roof console system. Spotlight and a quick release mount system. Ready for the paddock.